Hello and welcome to the second part of my playthrough of the Lake scenario from the WOT 2025 game. And we are starting with the turn 4, and in this turn Russians are about to get reinforcement with another mechanized battalion. Still no air units, so we can skip air stuff and go straight into the Russian movement phase. Okay, what I'm going to do. First I have to decide where this mechanized battalion is going to enter. They can enter anywhere from the northern edge of the board, and I think they will enter from here. Russian special forces cleared the way, so it is the best to move here, because here we have minefields and the destroyed bridge. Here we have a minefield, so I think this is the best to move from here. Okay, next let's move our units that are on the board. And here we have this Polish mechanized company that tanks shattered before, but now they are in the woods. And tanks that are fighting in the woods have their strength halved. So I am not sure if I want to attack them with all my tanks, or I want to move my tanks like that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. No, 3, 4, 5. Let's mark them like that to remember who is out of supply and who is not. And this tank company, well, let's wait a bit. I think I will use them here. Next, I have one more tank company here, and I need to place this tank battalion headquarter. I will place it like here, so it will have all its units in range. Well, maybe here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all of them are in range. So that's all for these tanks. They are going to attack here, and I will move their headquarter here, covered by this weakened company. This company suffered big losses in combat with Polish Wolverines, so now I'm not going to put it anywhere closer to the enemy. Okay, and next here I have this minefield, so I don't want to move through this minefield, of course. So let's go in the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and Poles decide to use one of their drones to attack them. Drones have a strength of 6 and their armor is 2, so drones are attacking with the strength of +4. 5, this is +4 verse with the result of 5. This is 2. So this Russian company suffers 2 losses. This is second company of the 1st battalion. And if it wants to move any further, it has to suffer 1 more loss. But I want to move it, so these drones are gone, and this company suffers 1 additional loss. Okay, and they are moving same way, but they are going to end here. Their headquarter goes here, and this company is going to cover headquarter. And same goes with the brigade's headquarter. It moves here. Okay, and now this mechanized battalion that enters as reinforcements. I'm going to move all of these guys here to attack this Polish group. Okay, now my special forces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's all when it comes to the Russian movement phase. Next we have Polish counterattack phase, but I don't think that Poles can counterattack anywhere. I mean, they can, but they don't have Russians in the range, and all my other Polish units are in defensive. So that's all for the Polish counterattack phase. Let's go to the Russian combat phase. Let's start here. I have these two tank companies and they are out of supply, so their strength is halved. So let me check. This is 4 company, they have 13, and this is first company and they have 14, so their strength is halved, so they have 7. So I have total of 20 versus Polish unit with a strength of 3. So it's 20 versus 3, so it's 7 to 1 and 8 to 1 because of the Russian headquarter and 7 to 1 because of the village. So it's 7 to 1. Oh, very good roll. 7 to 1 and 5, and 3, it is B3. So 1, 2, 3, and I will move this Russian unit here. And now let's calculate the losses. Russians had 20, so it's 60-20, plus 1 because of the headquarter, minus 1 because of the village, so it's again 60-20. 5 Polish unit suffers 1 point loss. And Poles have 4. It was plus 1 and minus 1, so no difference, still 4. And 10. Okay, Russians suffer 1 point loss. Not a big loss for them, but still better than nothing. Alright, and next combat. I have an anti-tank unit here, so I wonder if I should use it against the enemy. But well, these are tanks and they have a pretty good armor, so no, I'm not going to do so. So let's just simply resolve the attack. We have 1st and 3rd company of the 2nd battalion, so they have 5 and 7, so it's 12, and they have 15, so it's 12 and 15, so it's 27. 27 against, I believe, 2. Yeah, 27 versus 2, so it's 10 to 1, and now it is 9 to 1 because of the fortification, 8 and 7 to 1 because of the woods. So it's 7 to 1 and 7. 7 to 1 and 7, it is B2. So defender has to retreat 2 hexes. 1, 2. And attacker can pursue it. 1, 2. 1, 2. Like that. And let's check for losses. Russians had 27. So it's 27-30, minus 3 and plus 1. So it is 1, 2, 3 and 1, so it's 16-20. Oh. 8 in 16-20 is 1. So Poles suffering 1 point loss. This is 1st platoon. Where did I put Polish tables? Oh, they are. And now Russian losses. Poles had 2, 1, 2, 3 and minus 1, so it's 6-10. Oh, pretty good, it's 10. So still 1 loss for Russians only. So 1, 2. Okay, so next we are moving here. I have these 2 companies. These are 2nd and 3rd company from the 1st battalion. So they have a total of 11. 11 versus 2. So it's 5 to 1. But Poles are using these mortars as support. So they have 3. So it is 11 versus 3. So it is 4 to 1. 5 to 1 because of Russian headquarter. 4 to 1 because of the Polish headquarter. And that's all. So it's 4 to 1 and 7. 4 to 1 and 7. This is B1. So defender has to retreat 1 hex. And no, they cannot enter retreat here because you cannot retreat into enemy zone of control. so we have to retreat like that. And now let's calculate the losses. Russians had 11 and +1 because of the headquarter, -1 because of the Polish headquarter, so it's 11, 15, and 6, 1 loss for Poles. Second platoon suffers 1 loss. Okay, and Poles had 3, 7, no losses for Russians. Ooh, bad. Alright, the last combat. I have this battalion and it wasn't used before, so it has its full strength. So it's 21 versus 2. 21 versus 2, so it's 10-1, and we have 9 and 8-1 because of the woods. So it is 8-1 and 8. 8 in the 8-1, it is B2. So 1, 2. And Russians are going to pursue it with 1 company and the others are moving here. So let's calculate the losses. Russians had 21, so it's 21, 25, and -2 because of the woods, +1 because of the headquarters, so it's 60, 20. 7, 60, 20, 1 point loss for Poles. And Russian losses, it's 6, Poles had 2, +2, -1, no losses for Russians. Okay, that was a pretty lucky turn for Russians. And now let's check for Russian supply. They are in supply, they are in supply, they are, he is not. So he is marked as out of supply. Okay, that's all when it comes to the Russian combat phase. Let's go to the Polish part of the turn, and I think that this turn, in this turn, Poles are still out of reinforcements. Let me check to make sure. This is turn 4. Yes, we have to wait until turn 5 to get some Polish reinforcements. Well, wonder if we will make it. So, what Poles are going to do? First, this unit is about to fortify itself. They still hope to slow down a Russian advance, but it is going to be pretty costly. And now, these guys, 1, 2, 3, are retreating like that. This mechanized company is going to retreat here. They are going to move like that. Okay. And now they. A good thing is that all this Polish light infantry might move, if they want to, in the enemy zone of control. So, because they are pretty small units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Let me think a moment about it. Okay, I can move through the enemy zones of control. I don't have to stop at them, but I have to spend additional 2 movement points to enter enemy zone of control and 1 additional movement point to leave enemy zone of control. So all in all, there is no way for them to reach this place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they are going to retreat here. Okay, that's all. I think that Poles have a problem since they lack of quick units. I mean, I would love to get some one at last fast unit that would be able to cover this bridge. I mean, I have this mechanized company, and they should be able to reach this area, but if they will leave, then I will leave this bridge unsecured as well. So I will move them here anyway, let them stay where they are, and well, that's all. I think that Poles are in pretty bad shape now. Of course, both sides suffered some losses, but there is a major gap in the Polish defense. Oh, well, we'll see how it goes. That's all for this turn. Let's go to the turn 5. Alright, we are in the turn 5, and this is the first turn when also NATO is about to get some reinforcements, but we also going to use some AI units as well. Okay, so Russian player gets one unit of fighters, one unit of bombers, and one unit of combat helicopters. So where he's going to use them? I think I will place my combat helicopters here, my fighters here, and my bombers here, and NATO gains one unit of fighters. And now, since both sides have their fighters on the board, we have to resolve air combat. Polish fighters had a strength of 5 and Russian fighters had a strength of 3. So let me look for the air combat table, where it is. Yeah. We're going to use first column, and now I need to make a roll with Russian strength of 1.5. It is 1. So Russian unit suffers 1 point loss and is removed from the board. That's good for Poland. So I need to mark it. It was 77. And next, since there are Polish fighters, they can now attack other Russian AO units. So, a fighter might attack as many enemy units that are not fighters, as many as he has strength points. So this Polish unit has 5 strength points, so he might attack 5 Russian AO units. We have 2 of them, these attack helicopters and these bombers. So I'm going to make a roll for each of them. I have to halve the number, rounding it up, and these are the losses of these units. So first for them. Oh my, this is a disaster for Russians. They lost 3 points. So this is bad. And now for combat helicopters, 2. Okay, combat helicopters lost 1 point only. This is not very bad. And now fighters are also removed from the board. And now remaining AO units may perform their missions. So these bombers are going to attack Polish group here, and they have only 3 points. So this is let me roll for the loss. Oh, they hit actually. Okay, Poles are losing 1 point. Who they are? First platoon and anti-tank platoon. So 1 point loss. As for combat helicopters, I think I will keep them on board so they will be able to provide me some support during the combat. Okay, so that's all for air stuff. We can go into the Russian movement phase. So who is going to move when? I will start with this battalion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they will move like that. So I will be able to cut this Polish group and control a major part of the highway, which is one of the goals in this scenario. Next, this battalion is going to attack here as well. I think I will attack with my entire battalion. Now they are going to attack like this. Oh, wait a moment. When they are here, Polish ATGMs are going to fire at them. Why not? I still have 3 of them. So let's fire. I'm firing from the 2 hexes range, so my strength is 7. Russian defense of this BMP-3 is 2, so I have +5, so it is pretty good. It is 8. In the +5, it is, oh, just 1. Okay, so this company suffers 1 point loss. And it has to stop, otherwise it would have suffered another loss. So I think it will stay. Next, my tanks are going to move here, and I will provide this company as a support for them. Okay, next thing. This tank company is moving 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. Here they are. And they are going to fire at this Polish mechanized battalion. They are firing from the 2 hexes range, so their strength is 5. Polish defense is 3, so it's +2. But Poles are in the town, so this is -2. So it is 0. So Russians firing with the strength of 0, and they are going to fire 4 times. 6. And on the with the 0 they need to roll 6 or less. So 1, this is first hit, let me mark it. 2, this is a miss. 3, this is a miss. And 4, this is a hit. So they hit Poles twice, each time for 1 point. So Polish company suffers 2 point losses. Oh. Okay, and then so they fired 4 times, so I need to mark them with 4, and they are entering this hex. Okay, here I'm going to retreat and use this tank company. This tank headquarter will move here to provide support for all of their units, and this tank, this mechanized battalion headquarter is moving here, and the brigade headquarter moves here. Okay, so that's all when it comes to the Russian movement phase. Oh no, not really. I forgot about this motorized battalion that just entered the game as reinforcements. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They are going to move like that, so they will be able to encircle Polish forces. I will move my entire battalion here. Alright, so that's all for the Russian movement. Let's go to the Russian combat phase. I will start here. This Russian company attacks Polish special forces that are already pretty weak. So Russian tanks have a strength of 14, but they are attacking into the woods, so they have their strength halved into 7. So they are attacking with the strength of 7 versus Polish unit that has a strength of 2. So it is 3 to 1, 4 to 1 because of the headquarters support, and 3 to 1 because of the fortification, 2 to 1 and 1 to 1 because of the woods. So it is 1 to 1, 8. 1 to 1 and 8, it is A1. So somehow Poles managed to drive Russians away. And now let's roll for the losses. Russians had a strength of 7, and this is it is lowered into 1, so it is nothing, no losses on Polish side, and Poles had a strength of 2, +1 because of the fortification, +2 because of the woods, -1 because of the Russian headquarter, so it's 6-10, and 8, 1 loss on the Russian side. This was first Russian company. Alright, and next here. This tank company is going to fire, I think, 2 times. So let's mark them. They have a strength of 6 on the 1 hex range, and Poles have a defense of 3, +2 because of the town, so it is +6, it is 6 -5, it is +1 for Russians. So 2 shots with +1, a miss, miss. Okay, the Poles were quite lucky. And now let's resolve our combat. We have a unit with a strength of 15. Okay, this unit wasn't damaged, so they have 15 versus 3. So it is 5-1, 6-1 because of the headquarter, 5-1, 4-1 because of the river, and 3-1, 2-1 because of the town. So it is 2-1. Oh, and the roll is 10, 2-1, and the roll 10, it is A1. So attacker has to retreat 1 hex. Okay, looks like Russians aren't very lucky this time. And now let's calculate the losses. Russians had a strength of 15, so it's 11-15, +1 because of the headquarter, -1, -2 because of the river, -1, -2 because of the town, so it's 2-3, 8, no losses on Polish side, and Poles had 3, +1, +2 because of the river, +1, +2 because of the town, -1 because of the Russian headquarters, so it's 11-15, and 8, 1 loss for Russians. Okay, so next battle is resolved here, and I'm going to use my combat helicopters to provide some support. And these combat helicopters have a strength of 4. Okay, so I have 4 plus this company +7, so it's 11. 11 plus 15, so it's 26. It's 26 versus 2, so it's 10-1, and 9-1, 8-1 because of the river. So 8-1 and 7. 8-1 and 7. B2. Defender has to retreat 2 hexes. 1, 2. Russians are making their way like that. And now losses. Russians had 27, so it's 26-30. -2 and +1, so it's 21-25. 7, 1 loss on the Polish side. I think that one of these units is about to be... No, at last they can still suffer 1 loss without being eliminated. And now Russian losses. 3. Poles had 3, so it's 2-3. +2 because of the river, -1 because of the enemy headquarters, so it's 1. Russians suffer 1 point loss. Alright, so that's for this battle. Next we have another battle to resolve. This battalion attacks with full strength, I think, but it suffered some losses. Yes, it suffered some losses, so it has 6, 11, 17, 18. So we have 18 versus 2. 18 versus 2, it's 9-1. 9-1, 10-1 because of the headquarter, 8-1 because of the Polish headquarter, and 7 to 1, 6 to 1 because of the WOTs. So it's 6 to 1 and 3. Okay, that's a good roll for Russians. 6 to 1 and 3, B3. Defender has to retreat 3 hexes. 1, 2, 3. And Russians can pursue it like that. Okay, we got all this area covered. And now this Russian battalion attacks these two Polish groups. Because of that, we weren't be able to use these mortars. Oh, first of all, I need to calculate the losses for this combat. Russians had 22, plus 1 because of the headquarter, minus 2 because of the woods, minus 1 because of the Polish headquarter, so it's 11, 15. And 11, 15, 7, 1 loss for Poles. And now Russian losses. Poles had 2, plus 2, minus 2, plus 2, plus 1, minus 1. So it's 2 plus 2, 6, 10, and 9, 1 loss for Russians. And finally, this battle. I mean, no, there is also one more battle, so we have 2 more battles to resolve. And now, this motorized Russian battalion, how strong they are. They are 19 versus 3. 19 versus 3, so it's 6 to 1, and 6 to 1, and 5 to 1, 4 to 1, because they are attacking through the river. 3 to 1, 2 to 1, because they are attacking into the woods. And both sides have headquarters, so they are nullifying each other. So we have 2 to 1 and 8. 2 to 1 and 8. This is nothing. Both sides remain where they are. This is pretty good for Poles, because they are almost surrounded. So, okay, nothing. So let's calculate the losses. Russians had 19, so it's 60-20, minus 1, minus 2 because of the river, minus 1, minus 2 because of the woods, so it's 2, 3, and 4, 1 loss on Polish side. Okay. And next we have Russian losses. Poles had 3, so it's 2, 3, and plus 4 because of the terrain, so it's 60-20, and 10. Russians suffer 2-point losses. Alright, and finally, one last battle. These special forces are already quite battered, but they have 5, and this company has 7. So it's 12 against 2, so it's 6 to 1, and because of the village it is 5 to 1. So it is 5 to 1 and 9. 5 to 1 and 9, B1. Defender has to retreat 1 hex. Okay, this is pretty good. Russians move here, and losses. Russians had 12 and minus 1, so it's 6-10. 6-10, 8, 1 loss on the Polish side. Third platoon is about to suffer 1 loss. And Russian losses, 5. It was 2 and plus 1, so it's 4, 5, and 5. This is nothing. No losses for Russians. Okay, that's all for the combat phase. Let's check for the supply. So this unit is in supply. They are in supply as well. As for them, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. And wait, sorry, they are not in supply. This is there is a lake, and you cannot trace a line of supply through the lake. So this unit is not in supply. They are not in supply either. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they are in supply, but they are not. Here all of them are in supply. They are definitely not. And they are. Okay, so that's all when it comes of the Russian to the Russian supply phase. We can remove these combat helicopters, they were used. And now we are moving into the Polish part of the game. And in this turn we got some reinforcements for Poles that are very needed. We got Polish tank battalion, Polish reconnaissance unit and Polish artillery unit. Okay, I think that we can finally do something in offensive instead of just fighting and slowing enemy down. So, I will still try to slow down Russians here. Next, as for them, I need to get them out of here. So, 1, 2, 3. Why? Because I am entering and moving in the enemy zone of control. And these light infantry units are allowed to do so, but they have to spend 2 movement points to enter enemy zone of control. And 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, at last I am safe. Now they are moving here. This mechanized unit made it well, but I think it is going to be surrounded in no time, because these special forces are already quite weak. So they are going to retreat here to make use of this terrain. They are going to retreat here. This special force is about to 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And I think that's all when it comes to the units that are on the board. And now let's move my camera a bit, because, well, I won't need the upper part of the board anymore, but I will have to use this part of the board more. And also I need to introduce Polish reinforcements. So let's move these counters off. And now let's go with the Polish reinforcements. Okay, I have these 3 tank companies, so I will start with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 7 points. And they are going to fire onto this Russian mechanized unit. And these are Leopard 2 tanks. Their strength on the 2 hexes range is 7, and Russian armor is 2. So this is a difference of 5, and I will fire 3 times. So it will cost me 6 movement points, so it will be 13. And I am firing 3 times with the strength of +5 and -1 because of the heals, so it is +4. So first is 6. It is +4 and 6, so these are 2 losses on the Russian side. Another hit, 9. This is one loss on the Russian side, and the third is 7. 1 loss on the Russian side. So Russians suffer a total of 4 losses. This battalion needs to lose 3 points. And I am moving here. I will move my other company in the same fashion. So they are going to move. They are going to fire 3 times at them. So 1. This is 1 hit. Second. 6. Are these 2 hits or 1 hit? Let me check. These are 2 hits. So it's 3. And 7. 1 hit. So these are 4 hits on this Russian poor mechanized unit. and my tanks are moving here. Their headquarters goes here, and my other tank company is going to enter from this part of the board, and they are moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and they are going to stay here. My artillery, well, I don't have to move it far away. It has, well, 70 hexes range. Okay, so it can clearly cover the entire board. So let it stay here for a while. I think it will be good. And my reconnaissance unit, I think I will move it here. It will be my fire force. I will use it wherever I might need it. Okay, so that's all for the Polish movement, and next let's go to the Polish combat phase. But wait a moment. First of all, we have a Russian counterattack phase. And do Russians want to perform any counterattack? I believe yes. I believe they can move here, but well, no, let you stay. These are woods and hills, so attacking with just a single company would be pointless, and they cannot move on this hex because we have a lake here, so they cannot move through the lake. Okay, so no Russian counterattack, so we have Polish attack here, and these two companies are attacking. Each of them has 21 points of strength, so they have 42 of total, versus Russian units that have... Oh, and I can use my artillery to support this attack. So I have 42, and this artillery has a strength of 18. So they have 18 plus 42, so it's 60. Oh my. This is 60 versus... versus 5. So this is definitely 10 to 1. 9 to 1 because of the hills, so it's 9 to 1. And 10, oh, 9 to 1 and 10, so it's B2. Russians have to retreat 2 hexes. Poles are moving like that. And now let's calculate the losses. So we had 60, so it's 56, 60. Minus 1 because of the hill, plus 1 because of the Polish headquarter, and minus 1 because of the Russian headquarter, so it is 51, 55. Oh my, 5 points. I wonder if the Russians are about to survive this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, they will. They survived, but their losses are pretty bad. And now Polish losses. Russians had a strength of 5, plus 1 because of the hills, so it's 610, and 5, no losses for Poles. Okay, so that's good. Now we have to check for Polish supply. Well, these tanks are in range, these tanks are not, so let's give them out of supply counter. So that's all when it comes to this turn. We are moving into next turn. Okay, we have turn 6 and we are starting with air phase. In this turn only Russian player has air units, 1 fighters and 1 combat helicopters. So I think I will place my combat helicopters somewhere here, and my fighters are going to be placed where? Well, there are no enemy fighters in this turn, only Russian player has fighters, so I can use my fighters to attack enemy land forces. And I think this is the best thing I can do. I will use them. Any Polish unit is in the clear terrain. These tanks, I believe, yes, these tanks. So I will try to attack these tanks. first of all, I have to roll for my each unit has its own anti-air defense. If I roll 1, they will suffer some damage. No damage for Russians, so now they can attack. They have a strength of 3. So let me roll 4. Okay, where do I have a table for them? Oh, here it is. So it is nothing. Okay, so they did nothing. They are out of board. And now we can go into the Russian movement phase. A Russian player gains 2 artillery units that are entering the board, and I will already move them. One of them goes here, and one of them goes there. And now, as for the remaining Russian forces. Okay, we have a Polish tanks here, so our blitzkrieg is done, I believe. So, let's go. Let's try to drive these Poles away. Now this mechanized infantry is going to attack here. As for them, well, attacking Polish tanks with BTRs will be definitely not a very bright idea. So I think that I will just move like that. I will fortify this unit. As for the others, I will keep them as reserve. Now, here, all these units are out of supply, so, well, there won't be much use of them for now. But I have these 2 tank companies, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now, sorry, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now they are here. They spend 7 movement points, so they are going to fire at this Polish unit. Their strength is 5. Poles have 3, so it's +2, and they are on the hill, so it's +1, so it's so they have 5, they have 4 in total, so it's +1 for Russians. So Russians are going to fire 4 times with +1. 7. This is a hit. 7. This is a second hit. 6. This is a third hit. And last one, 9. This is a miss. So Poles suffered 3 losses. So I wonder if this company is still alive. Yes, it's still alive, but barely. And I'm not going to move any further for now. This tank company is going here, and their headquarters moves here. This mechanized company goes here, their headquarters goes here, and they will wait until they get some supply. Alright, same goes to this tank company, it moves here. Okay, and next, these special forces are definitely not too strong to attack them all by themselves, so I will fortify them. And I think that's all when it comes to Russian movement. Yes, I think that's all. Now we have a Polish counterattack phase. Do Poles want to do any counterattack? No, I believe they won't. So next we have Russian attacks. Okay, so let's go and resolve Russian attacks. They don't have to attack because they are in the fortification, but they can. So we have 2 and 3rd company of the 3rd battalion, and they have 7 and 2. So they have 9 plus headquarter 10. So it's 10 to 1. And we have 8 to 1 because of the heels. Sorry, 9 to 1 because of the heels. 8 to 1, 7 to 1, 7 to 1 because of the river. So it's 7 to 1 and 8. It is B2. 1, 2. I will leave. No, I won't leave. I will go. And now losses. Russians have 10, minus 3, and plus 1 because of the headquarters, so it's 2, 3. It's 7, no losses on Polish side. Poles had 1, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, 4, 5, 7, 1 loss on the Russian side. Okay, who else? Now them. They are going to attack here, and now Russians are allowed to use their artillery to support their fighting forces as well, but they have to remember, if they will use this artillery now, they won't be able to use it to support their defense. If Poles would like to attack anywhere, then Russians wouldn't be able to use their artillery if they will use it now. So do I want to attack it or attack with it, or do I want to keep it for later? I think at last one of them should be in reserve, and I think one can be used. So I will use this artillery to support this attack, and now I am attacking with entire 1st battalion. This battalion has 5, 10, 16, 17, 17, and artillery gives me 8. So it's 17 plus 8, so it's 25. 25 against 2. 25 against 2. So it is 25 against 2. It's 10 to 1, by all means. And 10 to 1, 8 to 1 because of the woods, and 7 to 1 because of the hills. So it's 7 to 1 and 8. 8 in the 7 to 1 is B2. So Poles have to retreat 2 hexes. Russians are progressing here. And now let's check for losses. Russians had 25. Oh, I will mark this artillery like that to remember that I used it. So it's 25 minus 3, so it's 6, 10. 7, 1 loss on the Polish side. And Russian losses, Poles had 2, plus 1 because of the hill, plus 1, 2 because of the woods. So it's 11, 15, 7, 1 loss for Russians. Okay, do I have any other Russian attacks to resolve? I believe not. I believe not, so that's all. So let's check for Russian supply. This unit is, I think, out of supply. Yes, headquarters is here. 1, 2. No, I cannot provide my trace my supply line through the river, so no, they remain out of supply. They are all in supply now because their headquarters are here and there, so I don't have to care about this ammo anymore. So that's all for the Russian supply phase, and now we are moving into the Polish part of the turn. In this turn, a Polish player gains 2 mechanized companies, 1 artillery unit, and 1 tank company. Okay, I think that Poles are getting definitely stronger now, and I can think about some counter-attack. At last I hope so. So where do I want to launch any counter-attack? I have some tanks here, so it would make sense to attack in this direction, but remember, there is a lot of woods here, and tanks have their strength halved when they are fighting into woods. So there are no woods here, so I think I might move like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, no. 1, 2, I cannot fire through the hills, so like that. I will send them one of my mechanized companies that entered the game to support this attack. I sent my tank, my other tank company. No, I'm not going to attack here because these are woods and we want to keep our tanks out of woods as much as possible. So I will send my new tank company here. I'm spreading my tanks a lot, but I think this might be a good idea. Well, we'll see. And my mechanized unit is going to attack here. Artillery will be set up here. Alright, and now they are going to fortify themselves. These tanks are about to move here to get their supply back. These tanks, I think I might send them here. Yes, they will be fighting in the woods, but they should be strong enough to make it. These guys are going to fortify themselves to stop Russian advance. I hope they will make it. Same goes to them. And day 2. Okay. And finally, these special forces might fortify themselves as well. Okay, I think that's all when it comes to the Polish movement. Oh no, this unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are getting out of here. And I think that's all when it comes to the Polish movement. Let's go to the Polish combat phase. I'm going to attack here. And now this is going to be hard for Russians now. Let's spread them so we can see who is going to do what. And first of all, Polish tanks are about to fire at them. They have a strength of these leopards are pretty impressive. I think where they are. Yeah, they have a strength of 7. Russian BMPs have a strength have an armor of 2. So we have +5 and +4 because they are in the village. So I am firing 4 times with +4. Okay, this is starting just nice. This is 2. It was first, second, 1 hit. Ten, 1 hit. And 6, 2 hits. So we hit them 6 times. Okay, that's pretty hard for them. Let me check. This is 2 and 3rd mechanized company. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this company is no more. It is eliminated. And now this mechanized company is going to fire at Russians. You may ask why Russians are not firing. Well, my tanks have an armor of 7. They have a firepower of 3, so it would be -4. So this is no chance to score a hit on them. And now my Rosomachs are going to fire at them. Rosomach has a strength of 4 and armor of 2. -1 because of the village, +1 because of the village, so it's 4 - 3, it's +1. So I'm firing 3 times with +1. 1 hit. Two hits. And a miss. So I hit them twice. And now they can fire back. They are firing on this Polish motorized unit, and their firepower is 3, Polish armor is 3, so it is 0. They are firing 3 times with a strength of 0, 1 hit. 6, this is a hit on 0, I believe, yes. Yes, this is a hit, and this is a hit as well. So Polish unit was hit 3 times. No good. Okay, let's resolve the combat. So Polish tanks have 21 and Polish mechanized unit has 9. So we have 30, and against against 5. So it's 6 to 1, 5 to 1 because of the enemy headquarter, 4 to 1 because of the village. And do we have... no, we don't have our headquarter in range. So it is 4 to 1, and 4 to 1 and 7, it is B1. So Russians have to retreat 1 hex. Poles are moving here. And now let's check for losses. Poles had 30 and -2, so it's 60-20. 5, 1 point loss for Russians. And Russians had 5 plus 2. Oh, they rolled pretty good. And so it is 11, 15 plus 2, 10. Oh, Poles suffered 2 points losses. Okay, and the next battle goes here. This is going to be costly as well, I believe, because Poles are using these 2 units, and this is woods, so we will be able to use only half of the strength of our tanks. Still, I'm going to make 3 hits on them with my tanks. I have 7, and these BTRs, let me check their armor is 1. Oh my, so it's +6. +5 because of fortification, +4, +3 because of the woods. So I'm firing 3 times with +3, 2 hits, no miss, and 2 hits. So I hit them twice with 2 each time, so it's 4. So they lost 4. Now my mechanized infantry is firing at them as well. It has 4, -1, so it's 3, -1 because of the fortification, it's 2, -2 because of the woods, it is -1 and 0. So we are firing with a strength of 0 3 times. Miss, miss, and a hit. So 1 hit on them. And they are firing back 3 times. Their firepower is 3 versus Polish armor of 3, so it's 0. Miss, a miss, and a miss. Okay, so they missed. And now let's resolve the combat. They have 21, but because they are attacking woods, they have the strength halved, so they have 10. And now this company has a strength of 11. So we have 21, and I will use one of the Polish artillery units that provides me 21 plus 18. 21 plus 18, it's 39. So it is 39 versus 3. And Russians are going to use their artillery in defense as well. And their artillery provides them 8, but I have to halve it because it is defense, so it's 4. So I have 4 plus 3, so it's 7. So I have 11 plus 10, so it's 21, and 18, so it's 39. So it's 39 versus 7. 39 versus 7 is 5 to 1, and 5 to 1, 4 to 1, 3 to 1 because of the river, 2 to 1 because of the woods, 1 to 1 because of the fortification, and 1 to 2 because of the headquarter. So it's 1 to 2, not an easy attack for Poles. 6 in the 1 to 2, it is A1. So Poles have to retreat 1 hex. They are retreating here. And now let's check for the losses. Poles had 39, -1 because of the fortification, -1 because of the headquarter, -2 because of the river, -2 because of the woods. It's 6-10. 9, 6-10, 1 loss for Russians. And now Russians, they had 7, so it's 6-10, +1 because of the fortification, +1 because of the headquarter, +2 because of the woods, +2 because of the river. Oh my! 4 points for Poles. That's bad. So Poles suffered some heavy losses. Which tank company it was? It was third. Okay, so that's all when it comes to the Polish attacks. No, we have one more attack to resolve here. Okay, this is, you can see when a lot of tanks are involved, this combat might go pretty long. So these tanks are attacking this mechanized unit. They are firing 3 times. They have a strength of 7 versus armor of 2, so they have +5, and this is clear terrain, so it's +5, and 3 times with +5. Okay. First, this is where did I put my die? Okay, it's here. So, I have 6 with +5. It is 2. Another 2. And 7. It is another 2. So Russians lost 6 points. Oh, this is going to hurt. Actually, I destroyed them. It's funny, but yes, I just destroyed them with my firepower, so they won't even be able to fight back. Okay, so that's all. So I kept these combat helicopters to support this combat, but looks like they don't have much stuff to do. So I have to remove them because this is the end of the turn. And that's the end of the Polish combat phase. So now let's check for the Polish supply. These tanks are out of supply. They are in supply. These tanks are in supply. And these tanks are not. Alright, so that's all when it comes to the Polish supply phase. And this concludes this turn. It was pretty long, and I think this is a good moment to call it a day, because it was the end of 6th turn, so we have 3 more turns to go, and I will record them in my final part of this series. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.